Hi, seventh graders. It's your science teacher, Ms. Yeager here again. I'm here to introduce you to the new vocabulary that we are going to have for our Amplify unit called Matter and Energy in Ecosystems. And you can see that we have the Quizlet pulled up, and there will be a link to this Quizlet on Google Classroom. So you are going to want to go here, and then the other thing that you're going to want to do is attached to that Google Classroom assignment, you should see a slideshow that has already been pre-made for you. It has some slides set up in it. This is what you are going to be using to record your vocabulary for this unit. So I know not all of you have your vocabulary notebooks at home with you, so this is where we are going to be storing our vocabulary for this unit for you to look back at. And I want this to be a slideshow that you pull up and look at when you are doing different activities throughout this unit, because I think it's going to be helpful for you to be using these vocabulary words and knowing what they mean as we do the activities. So I'm going to start here. I see that I have my title for these vocab words. So it's matter and energy in ecosystems. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type that in to my title right here. So matter, capital letter, Ms. Yeager. Matter and energy in ecosystems. And then I'm going to go vocabulary. And then down here, I'm going to write my name. So I want you to set this up somewhat similar. I do not mind if you play with fonts. I do not mind if you play with colors. I'm actually probably going to eventually change the theme. Like you know me, I always like to play around with the theme a little bit. So you can go through, you can choose these different, oh, I kind of like that. Okay. So you play around with it how you need to do it, all right? But it needs to have the title and then your name there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this next box here. And so I'm actually going to put it back to its original way so that you can see it how it is on your screen. But just know that I do not mind if when you weren't done with this, if you want to play around with formatting, that's fine. Just make sure I can read it. Like no yellow on white, no crazy GIFs in the background. Like it needs to be clean and clear for you to be able to see the words. Just think about your notebook. Like you can color code the words in your notebook so that they're easier for you to find, but it needs to be organized in a way that you can find what you're looking for and that it's not hard to read. So this next slide, so this is technically slide 2, but it's going to be your first word. So you can see here it says vocabulary word and it says definition. And then down here there are some other directions. It says add the word, definition, and 2 photos that represent the word to the slide. So I'm going to start by finding my first vocabulary word. So when I go back to this study set, I see that my first vocabulary word is abiotic matter. Now already when I see that, I see this word part bio, and I know that bio means life, like biology. That's the study of life in sciences. So I'm already thinking that this is probably going to relate to life in some form, okay? So when I click on that card, it's going to give me the definition and a picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by writing this word, this new vocabulary word. So where it says vocabulary word, I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to write abiotic matter. Notice that I'm capitalizing both words. I'm writing it exactly how it's written right there. So now when I flip it over, here's my definition. Matter that makes up the non-living parts of an ecosystem, such as air, water, and rocks. So I was somewhat correct in thinking that this had something to do with life. Sorry, I keep clicking on the picture. Abiotic, that's meaning like the opposite, right? It's another way of kind of like we know some prefixes like un or ear. and those tell us the opposite of it. So abiotic means not living. If it was biotic, it would mean living. So we see that in the definition that this is a non-living part of an ecosystem. So that's important. So in my definition, I'm going to delete where it says definition, and I'm going to type the definition. So this is matter. If I go back, I wonder if I can even, is it going to let me? See if it lets me highlight it, copy. So Control C, let's see if it lets me paste. I'm going to go Control Shift V. Hey, look at that. It copy and pasted in. Okay. So again, your shortcut for pasting is Control Shift V. Okay, so it says matter that makes up the non-living. I'm going to actually bold non-living, and I might actually highlight it because I think that that's a really important piece. It is non-living. Can we see that? That's bad formatting, Ms. Yeager. We cannot see what that word is. So let's see if we can change it to some black lettering. Still not the greatest, but this is going to pop out to me eventually when I find the right combination here. Non-living. So matter that makes up non-living parts of an ecosystem such as air, water, and rocks. So I'm going to put those in italics, and then I'm actually going to make this all a little bit bigger. Okay. So now I have that. I'm going to make my vocabulary word bold. I might choose a fun little font so that I can still see it. You guys make this your own notes, okay? Do what you need to do. So this makes sense. Air is not living, water is not living, and rocks are not living. So those are good examples of non-living parts of an ecosystem. So now the next part is to add pictures. Well, let's see what picture they have here. I don't really like that picture. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to look for a picture. You are going to find, so it said a rock, right? So I'm going to look for a picture of a rock. We'll see if we can find it. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to, there's a picture of a rock here. I'm going to find that picture of a rock. Oh, wow, look at all these cool rocks we have. So I can open this. Okay. Open link in a new window. I don't want that. I want to just open the image in a new tab. And the reason I want to choose that is so that I can see just the image, and then I can copy the image, and then I can paste it right here. And I might even write a little caption next to it saying, where's my text box? Okay. And then I'm going to type, a rock is an example of abiotic matter. Okay. And then I like to format things, so I'm going to center that, and I'm going to play around with the font again, because if you know me, you know I like to play around with the font a little bit. All right, and so then I would eventually go and I would add another picture. You need to be adding the word. I have the vocabulary word. I have the definition, and I have made some little highlights and italics to really make the important pieces stand out to me. So when I look at this slide, I know exactly what it is. And then I'm going to be adding 2 photos. You can see that I already added 1 photo, and I put a little caption next to it so that I know why I chose that photo. So when you're done with that, then you can go on to your next slide. And then you are going to move on to your next word. So our next word is atoms. So for that slide, you would be deleting this vocabulary word, typing in the actual vocabulary word, adding the definition, adding the 2 pictures with captions, and then continuing on. Okay, that is your assignment for today. You are going to have until Sunday, April 19th to get this done by 11:59. So I want you to get this done by the end of the evening on Sunday, April 19th. So today is Wednesday. So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I would say if you are someone who wants to get this all done right away, sit down one day and just get it done. If you want to chunk it apart, maybe I see that there are 27 words. And let's see what I say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 5 days. If you did 5 to 6 words per day, you would get this done in time. So you choose how you want to approach this. And then when you are done, just make sure that you are turning that in on Google Classroom so that I can see that you have finished it. I can review your work and I can give you the credit. Okay. So hopefully this makes sense. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, text me, let me know what's going on. So, all right. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.